We're talking to Mayor PBredesen of the city of Nashville, Tennessee. And of course, Mayor, during this final segment that we have over the last 5 or 6 minutes that we have, let's give you an opportunity to sort of wrap up some things, to talk about some of the things that you believe to be important, to let the people know some of the achievements and some of the accomplishments that you've made in that area. Let's, for example, I think we've talked about schools, libraries. Let's talk about parks now.
Okay. Well, parks is an area I'm very proud of. When I first became mayor, one of the things I set out to do was to add some land to the park system. We have a wonderful park system in the city. It's one of the real benefits of the city. And while it's hard to imagine now, back in 1991, we had a circumstance where land was pretty cheap. It had kind of fallen off in value. And so we set about acquiring some. We've acquired 2 large parcels of land. One is Shelby Bottoms in East Nashville. That's about 4 miles along the river there, a beautiful piece of property. And the other is a large parcel of property which is called Beeman Park, because ultimately the Beeman family bought it and donated it to the city. But Beeman Park is, I want to say, 1,500 or 1,800 acres up there as well. But I'm real proud of those acquisitions. We've added more land to the park system in the last 5 years than in the previous 75 years in Nashville, and it's I think it's going to really be of a lot of benefit to future generations. It's something that that land will be there for a long time to come, and I'm real pleased with it.
Speaking of parks and trees, and I don't mean to interrupt, but the tornado that we had this past April, now what impact has that, what's the ultimate impact from your office's perspective dealing with that tornado?
Well, I think the ultimate impact ultimately will be seen as I mean, obviously it was a tragedy for people who were involved in it, but I think the city responded very well, and it's something we should be very proud of. There were a lot of, as you know, homes damaged, primarily in East Nashville, although some on the western side of the city. But the amount of volunteer activity that came out, the way that the city services responded, the police and fire and Nashville Electric and so on, I think gives us all a lot of reason to be proud. You can't, you know, you can do nothing about those kind of acts of God. I mean, they happen, but the way the city responded, both in terms of its government and its people, I think is something we should be very proud of.
Very good. Now, Mayor, during this last 3 minutes that we have here, let's give you an opportunity not only to talk to the people of Nashville directly, but perhaps give us some idea in terms of your future beyond September 1st. And let's do it from that perspective and give you an opportunity to do that over the last 3.5 years.
You know, I don't know everything I'm going to do. I felt it was kind of time for me to bring this chapter to a close. I'm real proud of what we've accomplished these last years. One thing I'm definitely working on is this land trust idea. There's a lot of open land. I guess it's kind of a continuation of the parks discussion. But there's a lot of open land, both in Davidson County and in surrounding counties, that I would love to find a way to preserve. It's part of what makes this part of the country unique and special. And we've already established a nonprofit organization to